Hi there, I'm Kim Pryor with FBS. I lead marketing across our company and customer success for FlowPlan, a new product that we'll be launching this summer. I am super excited to be here with you today virtually for my very first RESO conference, RESO Remote 2020. I've prepared some slides for us to take a look at together to step us through FlowPlan, the new product, and also talk a little bit about how floor plans create opportunities for standards now and in the future. Let's take a look. So first, why floor plans? The first thing we can point to and look at is feedback from buyers and sellers about what kind of content that they want and expect on listings. You can see here from a 2017 NAR study that the number 3 most requested piece of content are floor plans, and that follows right after photos and detailed property information. That tells us really clearly that customers value floor plans. Second is just the basic things that we know. And what we know is that every home has a flow. When you open a front door, each and every property has its own relationship between rooms and spaces that's unique to it. And right now, for consumers, when they look at listings online, they're able to see a portfolio of photographs, they're able to read about the basic details of the home, but what gets really hard is threading the needle of those photographs and truly understanding what the floor plan or the layout of the property looks like. If we go back to the consumer information that tells us that customers want to see floor plans, the answer is pretty clear. People would like to know the layout of the home before they even make a commitment to go see it with their realtor. Obviously, that's a niche that's not being served, and that's the reason why we went straight for it with FlowPlan. Why do so few listings have floor plans on them today? And there's 2 really clear and simple explanations for it: cost and complexity. The products that are out there today, software and hardware, that can shoot a floor plan are expensive and complicated. Those are 2 things that we know make it a real obstacle for real estate agents. Immersing yourself in lots of training and then additional add-on products that need to be purchased, maintained, and learned about is really challenging for a real estate agent who already has a full plate of responsibilities. So when we look at the low usage and low representation of floor plans in the marketplace today, we can truly point to those 2 things as clear obstacles to their proliferation. Say hello to FlowPlan by FBS, powered by Kubicasa scan technology that we will be launching in summer of 2020. FlowPlan really does solve the problems of cost and complexity with mobile and machine learning technology that we're licensing from Kubicasa. With FlowPlan, all you need is a mobile device with a camera to scan a property to create a floor plan. An agent can go to a property, scan the home with just their cell phone, with one touch of a button, upload that scan to Kubicasa, and within 24 hours, the results of that scan of that property are transformed into a flow plan, delivered to the agent, and ready to upload to the listing. Simply download the app, scan the property, press upload, wait 24 hours, and in 24 hours, a beautiful, clean floor plan is ready to upload to the listing and share. At FBS, we like to say from no plan to flow plan in 2 easy steps. It is simple, it is fast, and it is cost effective. Anyone can do it. And I want to emphasize this because the way we're designing FlowPlan is that the action of performing the scan can be assigned to a staff member, to a photographer, even to the homeowner. I know oftentimes software companies will oversimplify how easy it is to use something. And I just want to state that as we are going through the process of developing the product and going through the process of testing the product, we have introduced this and asked probably hundreds of people at this point, just on the FBS side alone, to go ahead and perform scans and give us their feedback. And overwhelmingly, we are hearing that it is absolutely simple. It is fast. We've got people scanning properties that are 2,000 square feet plus for 5 to 7 minute scans, which is incredible. And those scans are being turned around in 24 hours as an accurate, awesome flow plan, a floor plan that they can utilize in their business. So I know software companies often oversimplify it. We definitely are not. It is easy, it is fast, and it is cost efficient. With that, FlowPlan really hits the technology sweet spot. When I started this presentation, I started talking a little bit about the consumer's experience while they're searching, while they're parsing through what could be hundreds of properties that are returned to them based on a search and their search criteria. A FlowPlan really hits that sweet spot. It gives that consumer an instant understanding of the home's layout and flow. Instant. There's nothing for them to load. It is not an immersive experience where they have to walk through or navigate through. It is super simple. What you see on that screen is a flow plan. They look at it and they have a instant idea of what the flow of that property is. Room relationships, wall relationships, etc. It is instant gratification. And when a consumer is parsing through 20, 30, 40 properties and going through that process of no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, a floor plan on every listing makes that process so much more efficient and so much more pleasant. And we're not asking them to hold on to that mental load of imagining, threading all of those photos together and what potentially a layout could look like. Instant gratification. And last, I just want to mention also that it's virtual convenience. It's a quick walkthrough from the comfort of your home and the safety of your computer, period. And in this day and age, in this environment, I think that's very important to mention. And when you couple that with the fact that a homeowner can perform the scan, you start to really see how important a product like FlowPlan can be. As we complete the product and begin to introduce it to the marketplace, we are licensing this to the MLS. Why? If you think about market adoption at scale, if you think about what market-wide adoption of floor plans would look like, a floor plan on every listing, you really start to see the game changing. A consumer's experience searching for properties online changing. An agent's experience of parsing through new listings in a market they may not be super familiar with being elevated and changing. The only entity that can provide this level of cooperation is the MLS. MLS Cooperation is beautiful. It really does create an opportunity for market-wide adoption for something that's really vital for all stakeholders in the process. The sum of cooperation that the MLS can create is far greater than the parts of an individual realtor or a floor plan on an individual listing. When you start to see this come together at that level with MLS Cooperation, we start to see a pretty incredible picture. Only MLS Cooperation creates this kind of value, and that's fact. It improves the industry for everybody. As I've been going through this presentation, I've spoken about the consumer, I've spoken about the agent and inherently the broker, and then the MLS. When you think about this in mass, at mass adoption, a floor plan on every listing, it really does create a new digital asset, especially at the aggregate. FlowPlan also validates the intellectual property rights and puts broker, agent, and MLS in the driver's seat in full control of data licensing. Last, but absolutely most importantly, is that FlowPlan enhances and creates new opportunities to leverage data standards. First and foremost, I want to say that as we've developed FlowPlan, we've developed the room labels, as you can see on the screen here, according to RESO Data Dictionary room names. What that affords us is seamless integration with any MLS, seamless integration with any MLS system. This is agnostic. It's not just for Flex MLS customers. It's for any MLS utilizing any MLS technology. I'd also like to take a couple of minutes to talk about how FlowPlan creates a path to the future with standards. At FBS, we're embarking on a new journey with FlowPlan and with floor plans in general. So I think we're at the very beginning of understanding and identifying all of the opportunities that exist to impact, influence, and maybe even challenge and utilize standards moving forward. But I do think there are a couple of ones that I can put here that are obvious and short-term versus others that are more questions for us to ponder, concepts for us to think about as we embark on floor plans together. The first is more near-term and obvious, which is as that mobile phone is scanning a property, it is obviously taking in a bunch of information about that property. The rooms are standardized according to the RESO Data Dictionary. So the obvious is that initiating a listing with that scan data would be super awesome and positively impact the efficiency of workflow. So imagine if that app, one of the buttons when you're done with the scan is upload to create a flow plan. And then there's another one that's upload and save to a listing. That really can change the game for a real estate agent who, without that, is going to perform the scan and then enter all of that data manually. So workflow enhancements specific to initiating a new listing with scan data is obvious and awesome and something really cool that we're looking forward to. Second would be innovating a BIM type process for residential real estate. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with BIM, which is Building Information Modeling, but I would encourage you to all just Google it and check it out and get some frame of reference around what I'm saying here. So building information modeling is a process for planning, designing, constructing, managing commercial and industrial infrastructure around 3D intelligent modeling. So architects, engineers, construction for commercial and industrial, they use a shared knowledge resource to provide them with information that maximizes efficiency around planning, designing, building, and even managing commercial and industrial real estate. If you think about applying a BIM type process for residential real estate, thinking about mass adoption of floor plans across the United States, thinking about all of the data that's being pulled in from those scans, and thinking about utilizing that data the same way that commercial and industrial real estate does for planning and architecture and management for residential real estate, it opens up a really new window for us of what we can do and how we can positively impact efficiency, scale, cost when it comes to building. That's definitely a longer term concept or idea to explore. Next is FlowPlan helps inspire progress around existing RESO RCPs about sending and organizing floor plan data. I know that Planitar has a couple of RCPs with RESO right now, specifically around the sending and organizing of floor plan data. As we implement FlowPlan, it's a great way to inspire progress around those RCPs and maybe even more thought around additional RCPs relating to floor plan information. And last but not least is leveraging standards to improve interoperability between products. There's the obvious interoperability between floor plans and the MLS system, but what are the other opportunities for other apps and software to dovetail with FlowPlan and create more efficiency, create a better workflow, create a better experience for any stakeholders, whether that's the consumer, the MLS, or the agent? I think we're just at the beginning of thinking about how we can leverage standards to continue to improve interoperability and to think about how other apps, other complementary apps and technologies could fit into that picture and possibly elevate and continue to make efficient our workflow processes. Those are just four for us to think about as we move forward. Last, I'm going to leave you with social links and our website, which is flowplan.io. We do plan to launch in the summer, and we will be updating the website and social accordingly. So feel free to follow us on social. FlowPlan has its own Facebook and Twitter handles. Once RESO distributes these PowerPoint presentations, you can go ahead and just click on those links and follow us so you can stay on pace with our launch. I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to share FlowPlan with you today and talk more about how FlowPlan and mass adoption of floor plans in general impacts our industry and can impact and influence standards now and as we continue to grow and move forward into the future. I hope you have a great rest of the conference. Thank you.